Hey guys, welcome back to Delving into the Cold. This is Dee, and this is the third week of our Dark Happenings month. And today we're going to be talking about the legend of the Wendigo, or the Wendigo, depending on how you want to pronounce it. Now, most notably, this is a Native American legend, but it also has German roots. And the I'm gonna totally mispronounce this, Algonquian Native Americans are the most notable for this legend. Now, Wendigo, the word itself, means the evil spirit that devours mankind. And it comes from the German word Wendigo, which is a word that means cannibal, or they hunger for human flesh. And the Wendigo is known to have just pretty much endless hunger. And despite just constantly needing food, they're extremely thin and tall. Most of the time you hear in legends that they're almost 15 feet tall. And while the descriptions of them vary just a little bit, they're usually described as tall and thin, with long fangs, glowing eyes, decaying skin, and a long tongue. And the most popular origin story for the Wendigo is that they used to be human, and the Wendigo creature itself formed when a human had to resort to cannibalism. They believe that the evil spirits overcome them and they become the Wendigo at that point. So that's why you hear a lot of the times about some of the legends or some of the TV shows or whatever you see, the Wendigo being an ancient, usually it's an ancient Native American, but it can be, someone else that's ancient that has resorted to cannibalism during a time of famine, or during a time of when they were just in desperate need and they had no other choice. But there is another version of the story. And this version of the story says that the Wendigo is actually an ancient warrior who sold his soul to the devil to save his tribe. And it says that he was transformed to save them, and afterwards was exiled by the tribe and forced to live a lonely existence, thus kind of making him into the monster that the Wendigo is seen as today. And like I said, most people, you usually hear the Wendigo as being, once being human that has resorted to cannibalism. But in a lot of popular media, the warrior story is actually portrayed. And I don't know if you guys are fans of the TV show Supernatural, but one of their first episodes is actually about the Wendigo. So you should totally watch it. It's anyway, not sponsored, just a fan. And so, due to the fact that most people believe that the Wendigo was once human, they believe that the human is still there in the heart of the creature. And so there's kind of a discrepancy, though, as to whether they can return to their human roots. And so a lot of people believe that if you kill the Wendigo, it would kill the human. But there's a small faction of people that believe that the human can be freed by killing the Wendigo. So there's kind of, a big difference there. And I guess, if these creatures were real, it could go either way. it's kind of an iffy situation, though, if you ask me. They, and so, you know, you hear these stories, and you're like, man, there's no way this could be true. And I'm pretty much on that side as well. But then, you know, the Wendigo is said to live in forests. And so, I mean, if you've ever been in the forest at night, you know there's some pretty freaky stuff out there. So, who's to say it's not true? It is noted, though, in the history of the Wendigo that they seem to be harbingers of death. And that kind of has to do with the fact that death seems to follow in their wake. And that could be because the Wendigos themselves are causing the deaths, or, you know, whatever. And most likely that's the case. Because if these creatures do have an insatiable hunger for human flesh, then, you know, they're probably killing a lot of people to satisfy that. And there are a lot of reports about people being eaten by the Wendigo. Obviously. The Cree in particular are known for hunting Wendigo, which is not something that you hear. Like, you don't hear about a lot of people hunting Wendigo, but the Cree apparently do. And there's one Cree in particular whose name is Jack Fiddler, who was actually tried for murder because he claimed that he killed 13 Wendigo during his lifetime. And he was actually arrested for killing a woman that he said was on the urge of becoming a Wendigo. So this guy just straight up went out and ganked people because he thought they were Wendigos, which is a whole problem in and of itself that we're not going to get into. But, yeah, so that happened. Now, mostly the Wendigo are said to live in the Great Lakes region in central Canada. And they're strongly associated with winter. And again, that's probably because that's the time when ancient people most likely would have had to resort to cannibalism. And that's the harshest time back in, you know, ye olden days. You know, I guess much like a human, the Wendigo can starve to death if they don't eat enough humans, which, you know, is not like a human. But, you know. And there's actually, there's kind of a basis for the hysteria and the idea of the Wendigo. And it's a psychological condition known as Wendigo psychosis. And it refers to a condition in which there's an insatiable hunger for human flesh and eventual delusions of becoming a Wendigo. So there are actually people that believe not only that they are a Wendigo, but they have this extreme hunger for human flesh, or they believe that's what they're hungering for anyway. And there's a town in Minnesota called Rousseau that's often mentioned when you hear about the Wendigo legend because the town was pretty much, I'm not going to say wiped out, but they were devastated by the Wendigo. And so anytime you hear the Wendigo legend, you're most likely going to hear about Rousseau, Minnesota. Alright, guys. I think that's all I have on the Wendigo. It's an older legend, obviously. And despite there being a few variations in the legend, it's pretty much one of those things that is kind of universal, from the way that the Wendigo looks to its habits and things like that. So let me know what you guys think. You seen a Wendigo and, you know, lived to tell the tale? Let me know. You can drop me a line in the same ways that you usually can. And I hope you guys are enjoying this Dark Happenings month. I've enjoyed doing the research for it. So, you know, I would love to do something like this again sometime. I think it's kind of refreshing to get out of, you know, cold cases where there's murder and devastation and kind of into more of the, you know, spookier stuff. Alright, guys. Stay safe, stay curious, and I'll see you next time. Hey guys, welcome back to Delving into the Cold. This is Dee, and this is the third week of our Dark Happenings month. And today we're going to be talking about